Now attach our pages to our spine. So this is the spine that we made. So we've got 6 areas here. And then these are all our finished pages. So I've got 12 pages here. What I've done is I've gone ahead and I've covered every other one all the way around, and then every other one just with that end, because we're actually going to join them like that in our book. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean as we go along. So if I take the first one, I think, for ease. So let's take the covers off these. I'm using a very thick, this is a double-sided, just a normal double-sided tape, but it is a very strong one that I'm using here today. So if you feel yours isn't very strong, I would suggest you use red line, but I would go at least ½ inch, if not more, if you can get it. So because I'm not putting any glue or anything in the middle. You could use wet glue. Personally, I think the tape is better at this stage because you don't want to be holding it for ages waiting for the glue to go off. You want this all to come together fairly easily. So I've got my glue all the way around, and we've got the spine. So I'm starting, this is January, so January is going to open like that. So I'm going to stick it onto the spine, but I'm not going, I'll try and show you on camera. I'm going to stick onto this spine here, but I'm not going right to the actual cover bit itself. I was trying to show you on camera, it's not very easy to... So normally you go right down as close as you could to there, but I would allow a little gap. So just take your time to line it up. So I've got probably about 1/8 of an inch. You can quite see that on camera. So I've got between the base and where this sticks on is about 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So now we need to line up this one to match it. So what I've done is I've only got the tape on this side so it sticks to this side of the hinge. So we're doing a back-to-back sticking these pages in. Okay, so it just makes it a bit easy. You haven't got to worry about sliding hinges, etc. on. So now this time we're going to pull this apart, and we've got to line these up so these are level. It's quite easy being this size because you can hold them in your hand and see that they're level. Make sure it's down there with that one. Now people probably think, oh, you could have a pocket in there. You could have a pocket in there, and that is personal choice for you. I haven't, because I've literally used everything out of this little mini pad that came, I've used, so I haven't got any spare embellishments, if you like, to pop in there. And also, when you look at each page, there's quite a lot going on. You've got your tag that comes out, etc. There's quite a lot going on each page, and that's why really I wanted to have a good adhesion all the way through. So that's how you stick a page. So I'm going to do another one with you. So let me do one more with you, and then you can go ahead and do your own. So as I say again, take all the backing off. You don't want to sit and watch me stick on 12 pages, but I'll show you another one. You'll get the idea of how we do it. Now you could stick these pages on after you've stuck your hinge in your book as well. That's another way you can do it. Personal preference again. I'm doing it this way so it's allowing my glue to take off on my book. I'm just allowing that 1/8 of an inch. So then when that comes together, that all matches. And take my tape off this one. So they're just going back to back, and that's as easy as it is. It's a very easy way of attaching pages to a book. Now to lay this now and line up these edges first. That's it. Happy with that. So that's now 2 pages in my book. Okay. So if you want to go ahead and attach the rest of your pages, I'll go ahead and attach the rest of mine, and then we can get this all attached inside our book and get our cover trimmed off. So see you in a minute. I've gone ahead now and added all my pages to the spine. So yours should be like that now too. And now we're going to add this to the cover and also cut the cover down. Now what I've worked out with this is once this is added onto here, it is quite a nice bulky album, which is fine. Now what I have found is when you lay it down, obviously to try and get in all the pages, I know you've got the lift out tags, etc. But personally what I probably should have done is done 6 pages on one side and 6 on the other and brought it in as a gatefold, but I haven't, so I've already gone ahead and done this. So what I'm going to show you is how we can now get round this. I've cut another piece of craft card, and I've cut this at the same dimensions as this back plate that we put on, which was, let me just confirm for you, 2 1/4 by 4, but I've allowed an extra 1/2 inch each side. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to that, and then these pieces here are the bits that are going to attach to the back, so it gives a bit more movement in the spine. All will come clear as we do it. What it means is as you're laying the book out, where it wants to bow a bit, this is going to allow your spine to bow a bit because you're going to have a gap in between. We're just gluing the sides down. Okay, so that's the way around that. So that's another little tip if some of you have got albums that are too bulky. So we're going to pop that to one side. We now need to go around and cut around our cover that we've done. I'm happy that's all now glued on, that's fine. So we can just trim that off. Now you could use your craft knife, or I'm just going to go in with a pair of scissors to trim that off. Okay, so just trimming. I'm not folding this over. If I'd made a piece bigger, I could have folded it over, but because I haven't, I'm just going to trim close up to the board that we've got. So I'm not going to wrap it round on itself, if you like, because obviously I haven't got enough at the ends anyway to do that, because where the paper's shrunk and this album's a little bit big to do that. If you were doing a smaller project, you could do that, or you could join 2 pieces together, or if you liked this faux look, you could just do this faux look on the spine there and leave the front bits plain. So it's just showing you a different way of covering your albums to give you a different look. So, you know, there's a lot of crafters out there and we've all got our own styles and tastes, so it's quite nice to do something a bit different. And this also works very well if you're doing like albums for men or gentlemen. It's quite a nice masculine look as well. So I've just gone ahead now and trimmed that off. Piece off there, okay. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to ink those edges where I've trimmed this paper. But as you can see, this was a piece of craft card, just like that. And now it's just like a screwed up piece, well, like a piece of leather really, so it is faux leather. So it just shows you how different it can look. So if you wanted to have a look at that, I'll do the link at the bottom with all the information of where you can get the watch my video for that. So I'm just inking these edges to tie that all in. This now feels a nice sturdy cover because it's got like the faux leather, it's got the mount board in the middle, and it's also got the craft card on the inside as the cover. So I've kept the cover quite plain, so that's not a problem at all. I mean, with all this movement, this isn't cracking at all. It's lovely, so I'm really impressed with this. It's the first time I've done it, and I'm very impressed with it. So I'd just like to say thank you to Sheena for sharing that with us on Create and Craft. I'm just going to put a bit of ink along the spines there as well. I can always go over a bit more with my spray and shine so it doesn't come off on people's hands when they're looking at it. So it's got a nice sort of vintage feel to the album. I need to read my ink pad, it's getting a bit worn out. So lots Could use acrylic paint if you wanted to as well. You obviously don't have to do it as brown. You could do this faux leather look with like denim blues would be really nice, or greens. So you know, don't feel that you're stuck to doing things in the brown. So you know, it's just another way of doing things. Now I've got a little bubble there where the glue hasn't quite got in, so I'm going to get my fine tip and just poke some glue down there. And that can get stuck. Anywhere else, it's a little bit there. Excuse me. Right, okay, happy with that, so put that to one side. Right, then we go ahead now and attach our spine, our hinge, sorry. So I lay that out flat and our hinge is going to attach onto here. Okay, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to attach this piece to this piece, and I'm going to do that again with my thick white double-sided tape. That down, so it makes it easier to come off. Enjoyed making this project, and it's quite good that it's only been made out of a pack of cards. I've not used the envelopes at all, and a free paper pad that came with a magazine, so I'm really pleased with how it's coming out. So that's now all stuck, and I'm now just going to line that up on there, so that yet again we're giving it some more reinforcement. It's got another layer attached there, which is good. And then I'm going to put some red double-sided tape onto that one. I've got enough of this right size here with me. Let's see what I can get out of this one. Done with this a little bit wider, but I can improvise and double stick that. Some of you wanted to have a go at this that haven't got this paper collection. It's an album that you could use with any paper collection really, or just use with odds and ends that you've got left in your crafty stash. It's quite a nice little album. I might do one on the internet again with a gatefold version of this, because I think that would then show it that you can make a nice bulky album like this with 12 pages. Makes quite a nice like yearbook, you know, year in reflection book. So that's another way we can do that. Right, I'm going to now stick this to our main inside cover. This will come off. Very sticky now, these lights, sorry. Dear, let's try this end. Because I've been in the craft room with my studio lights on for a bit too long, I think. That's it, that's fine, that's going to stick to me everywhere. Oh, it's not wanting to play ball today, is it? Sorry. There we go. Right, now I've got to now work out that I get my book the right way up. So that's my front plate, so this is where January needs to be. So I need to tuck those behind. And then just I'm eyeballing mine to get it central to where I want it. Just take your time when you're doing this. Again, not quite happy that that side's got the same gap. Should have perhaps drawn some pencil lines first, but I didn't. I do tend to eyeball a lot. Right, that's now in, and what I need to do is now try and really press that down. It's hard to get. Try and show you. We've got a gap now between the where the spine attaches and the main cover of the book. I'm just now going down with my bone folder to get that to get a really good stick. But by having that little bit of a gap, it means the pages lay a little bit more open when you're looking at it, even though it's a tag book. It. And I'm just going to lay it flat and run my bone folder along these edges, which is very hard to do with the brads on. I'm not getting it quite flat, but as best as I can. So if you can see, that's now all attached in. So that's now my book all put together. Okay, so it makes a quite nice sturdy book. If I pull these out slightly, you'll see the little gap at the back here where the spine is. That just means, if I show you, that when you're viewing the book, the pages lay open a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead now and finish off my last few embellishments on the cover, and then I'll show you my finished project. Now obviously for my embellishments on the cover, I've not really got anything left in here that I can use from the paper collection. I've only got oddments, so I've not got a lot in there at all. But what I have got left is my front dust cover. So I may even cut a few of the elements of my front dust cover to put on the front cover of my book. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish off embellishing this, and then I'll come back to you with the finished book.